Okay, so welcome everyone. It's Noyantis Usergroup, 10th of July, 2017. Myself and John are here.
Oh, Andy, we got to show a screen. We got no screenshot here.
Got no screen. Oh no.
Yeah,
there we go.
Got that one important step.
Okay. Yep. That always helps, of course.
There we go.
Sorry, somebody just got my attention. So welcome everybody again. Last few weeks, we've done some training and so on, and for the purpose of the recording and so on, we will do some of that later on. But looking at who's online at the moment and have a look at what questions may pop up, then if anyone's got any questions, please type them in as normal. But in the absence of that, we could actually make a cheeky start on the multi-DLL offering, which we've previously discussed. And then we'll just cover, like I say, a bit of the property grid training toward the end for people who are following the training videos and so on, using it for training. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, I haven't got my notes to hand, so let me just get some stuff here. So basically what we're trying to achieve is the ability to have all the settings in just one exportable template. Is that correct?
Correct. So that if I want to change, well, Kojak comes out with a new ActiveX version, and then I just want to change it in one spot and then have it work throughout the entire application. I think that's a really good start. And then that's how I've got mine. I kind of made changes to my template so they do that. And then the other things would be to maybe set the theme so that it was the same throughout the entire application, and you just change it in one place. Things like that.
Okay. Well, definitely doable. Okay, I'm just trying to. And we want. I'm just thinking aloud here now. We want one particular template to affect other templates as well. So, for example, you set it, or you just want to set it on this one template, don't we? And of course, have the others read off that. So, hypothetically, you add, let's call it the Noyantis Kojak resource, and from that, the command bar would read the setting, the task panel would read the setting, so on and so forth. Yeah. That sounds. And of course, that needs to be exportable as well. How have you, just out of interest on yours then, John, how have you done it from basically, say, your data DLL and the app frame? Do you have the same settings, or?
I think I do all the settings in the.
You did. I'm just going to have to.
App frame. Or in the, it's between.
The storage needs to be done at the data. These people actually want to be global. I'm just trying to think of the best way of doing this, actually.
Yeah, I think you might be thinking of taking a different approach than I did, I think. Are you talking about making like a separate file that each template reads or something, or are you going to do it all?
Not file, but we do need one central place where you can set it, and then it affects all the templates. So, or do you set them all per product? So if you're using the report control and the task panel, you do the settings in say like the central data DLL. Do you do it that way, but doing them twice?
I do it in the main exe and do it twice.
But do them twice. Okay.
Yeah. And I changed like you have equates for the licenses and stuff, and I changed those to strings, and then made them so that they were global, so all the DLLs could read them, could see those settings. That was probably the biggest change I had to make, I think.
Okie dokie. Just trying to think.
And then the same with the version too. I've made the version a global string, and then each template reads them in. I gotta go back and look at my code. What I did, it's been so long ago.
Yeah, just take a quick look.
I could. Do you want to pick one, and I'll send you the template over, and you can do a compare, and then you can see the differences.
Yeah. Let's just take a quick look at that. I'm just wondering whether there's any mileage, so to speak, in getting it so we can actually get one central resource doing more than one application. So, getting it to do the command bar and the task panel, or command bar and the report control, that type of thing. That could also be nice, and then you're only really setting the version once.
Right, because it depends. If people only have a few, I guess it wouldn't matter. Right, they would just set the ones that they've got.
I mean, it wouldn't
so if they
be
only own a couple of the template sets, they just set those. But it all comes from one place. That could be I don't know. That could work. Just different ways to approach it, I guess. Which one do you want me to send over? And we can run it for the compare thing.
What are the options? And we can take a quick look.
Oh, I don't know. Report control.
Yeah.
Just any of them.
Good as any.
Calendar.
Report control.
Report control.
I'll open it up here. Yeah.
Okay, let me grab that. I'll drop it over in Skype for you.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be NYS report control TPL and TPW. So there's a whole bunch of other ones, but I think it's just one of those main ones that I changed.
Yeah, it's just those two really.
Okay, you should see them in your Skype.
Just watching. There they go. Yep.
This is kind of what I do if I have to have a new template upgrade from you. I just do a compare, and then it seems like there's only a few things I have to change. So.
Okay, so let's just do a compare on these two. Yeah, I'm going to say that there's something wrong there. It's comparing completely different files. That's better. Okay. So here's where you've got a tab, multi-DLL. And so you check that, and you put an option on to export class from this DLL. Right.
Yeah. Yes, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it does that or not. We'll see. Maybe it does. It does. I think it does.
What's the difference on these? Oh, just 17.3 and 17.1 and the dates. So that's fine.
Right.
That's some new changes, so which you quite like, and the debug, of course.
Yep, I'll add those in.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've actually updated. Okay, so here's the global data, right? So this is where you were using equates, and I've changed them to be data strings, C strings.
Yeah, that's doing the export.
Right. So if you're in the So those are the things that I guess I'm currently tracking: the license, the hotfix version, the ActiveX version, the theme resource, and the style. Oh yeah, and that was the last thing that came up, that decimal point locale thing.
Yes.
So I added that in fairly recently because you talked about how that speeds things up. So I made that global too.
That's on the performance tab.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Just taking another quick look. Window resize, yep, that got added in a later version. That should probably be a different priority, is it, or something? Can't say I actually see what the difference is on that one. After a window opening, after control setup for the leg. Oh wow!
Okay, so you changed where that is.
I didn't know I had, to be honest. But okay. That's the resize, so we can ignore that one. The resize, ignore that one. That's the same for the field picker. So that's fine. Just a comment gone into there. Okay, so looking at some of this. Okay, yeah.
So it must be in the TPW that the rest of the changes are. Unless there's something else down here.
Okay. So the main ones then, going back to the top. Oops.
There's that.
Top. Yeah, let's jump down. Up. The new tab. That's fair enough. That's no problem on that. Put that on. Forget that. Forget that. Are they normally there?
What's that?
I'm just wondering about these. Weren't they there at all? Just straight into this? NYS 007 and so on and so forth? No?
No, see, here's the difference is that yeah, there's more differences below there too. You can see it. But if you look at line 183.
Yep.
Okay, so on your side, it's you set the C string and then you put all the information in the C string, right?
Yeah.
What's going on my side here? It's an equals. See, it's not. I've already defined the variable above, and then I change it to an equals. So that's why. Because you have to generate the right-hand side, that has to be generated in every single thing you're doing. That's why you have to set it in every app. And on my side, I'm setting it. I'm defining the strings and then setting it equal to, and then it's just set one place, and then it's available everywhere in all your DLLs. Because those are
yours are straightforward. Equal. Yeah, I've got that.
Right.
And then
so that's the main thing I did.
Set perf variables. So we just quickly do a compare on these two files. Nope. Choosing the same file. Thought of it. Okay, that one. Let's close that. That one and that one. Yeah. Simple copyright. Okie dokie. I must have moved that because I saw that on the other.
Yeah, a few changes there.
Okie dokie. That's. Nope. That's the resize stuff.
Yep. See, I've got some catching up to do, don't I?
I think what's throwing me there is that set perf for the performance. So that's got it in there, in the init prepare. Okay, and in here I could have thought, yeah, you've got it at that point. Oh, because you can do, because I suppose it's there.
Yeah, the performance variables, yeah.
What's actually in that? What other variables? Oh, they're at a global level. If I remember rightly. NYSlib. Oh. Ah, don't know what that set perf variables is. There's a set perf properties, which is called. But is that something you've got in yours somewhere else?
Let me do a quick search and see. Yeah, I've got it in NYSlib. I have a group in there in nyslib.tpw.
And what does that include?
No. I'm trying to find it. Okay, here it is. There, I just set that over.
It's just a commented out thing because you put it straight away.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Commented out.
So that's okay. We don't particularly need that.
Why did I do that? Maybe I just decided to turn it off for me all the time.
Okay. So you add. So if I've got this correct, you go to the global. You go to your data extension. You tick it to say this is part of a multi-DLL and export the class, if you will, from this.
Right.
And then just having a look at it. Program setup at DLL export. Yes, that's to do with the export.
I'm not sure I'm actually exporting the class though.
No, it's not really the class, it's just the resource settings.
Right, that's all it's doing.
Yeah.
But yours are ABC anyway.
Yes. Yeah, so the class, it work. It was just, I think the prompt said something about the multi-DLL export class, but it's not really export class, it's
No,
it's resource.
That's
no problem. So you prompt for a check multi-DLL, and then we have a tick to say that this is the root, if you will. That's fine.
Right.
So if it's the root or you're not multi-DLL, define them. Otherwise, declare them as external in the multi-DLL. Right. That's fine at the global data level. If you are, yeah. Okay, yeah, then that will go and set them in the export list. That's no problem. And then it's just straightforward equals rather than the things. Okay. That's all seems very easy. All seems too easy. Which is good.
That's how I did it.
So I suppose I've done a few over there, but from a multi-DLL, if you only wanted to set it, that would be fine. And then the only things I've got thinking there though, John, is okay. Let's say a command bar. I'm trying to think of a scenario that I use. It's a multi-DLL app. I have obviously my root data app, my dictionary app. I have various different procedures. So let's say a browse app with various browse windows in, and they have command bars in there. But I also have them on the app frame, so the main menu would have it as well. So the extension will be added to all three places. Mm-hmm. We only actually want to be setting those other settings then at one central place. So I'm actually thinking that you only really need to prompt for the version, the resource, and so on and so forth in the root when you say to export them.
So you want to set it in the root instead of the exe?
Well, the reason I was thinking for that is
go either way.
Yeah. I suppose I'll go with majority. Be pointless doing it in the exe and in the browse, because you wouldn't in the browse one. The settings will be meaningless. You're in the free apps, let's say data browse menu, and you need it in all three. You wouldn't want the settings to be in the browse, not in the main menu, as already had them set. But of course, you could have a scenario where some people might not have it on the main menu, but do have them in the browse.
Right.
So which place would you actually want to go and set them? So I'm finding the only one common place you've got there is the actual data.
Yeah, that's fair enough. When I was thinking about it, I always just kind of think top down, right? And the exe is at the top.
Yeah.
So I just think of setting my it's just how I think about it, right? So I was just thinking, okay, these are at the top, and I want all those settings to trickle down. So that's why I'm setting them at the top, whether or not I have anything there or not. And if I do it at the bottom, it's kind of a bottom-up thing in my mind, which honestly either way works. I'm looking at other products, and CapeSoft has a thing called a message box, and they set their stuff in the data DLL, but they actually have the message box in the data DLL. But that kind of ripples through the rest of it too, because there's some settings that have to be trickled up, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. You take a vote, I guess. From my perspective, it would be at the top whether you use it or not. But I do understand the other side of it. I could either way. It works for me.
So just on this here, have you got the scenario where you've got anyone go on the main program, in the app frame, and also in any of the other procedures, say like a browse procedure or whatever? No, sorry, an app. Do you have any of that scenario?
Well, let me just back. I was just thinking of something else as you were saying that. So I guess the problem with putting it in the bottom, I guess that's all right. But you still have to call it. You still have to set those variables. You can't set them just in the DLL, in the data DLL, right? You have to call something to set them. And so it has to be in the top exe.
Well, if you've defined them, I was just thinking, if you define them in the data DLL, and you said what you want all the values to be, so use code jock 17.3, And
well, then I guess you could make them the equates like you were doing before, then, right? You wouldn't do it the way I did it. You would keep the way you do it.
yeah, although you
But
still
that
need the declaration. You still need the declaration to be because they are still variables, but you still need the declaration to be either external or not. That's very simple. That's not a problem.
right.
What one of the other programs, docking pane, that does work multi-DLL because it ships some stuff. So what do I do in that one?
Yeah. But then you would define them the way you're defining them now, right? So the values are in the definition.
Yeah, it's as good as any.
I think you'd have to. I don't know any other way to set the variable.
Multi-DLL and declaration. Declared another app, declared in this app. Okay, so
Yeah, you're doing it there.
yeah, and then I just basically tag. I think I tagged that onto the end. So I set a variable to be external DLL mode. So very similar to what you had. And that should just get tagged onto the declarations, I should imagine. But in that case, it happens to be for that window manager class, whereas
right.
I could use that in the equivalent of the difference between these, because that's all it really is. Just put it into a variable.
David Patterson says he thinks of the base as the top. You're wrong, David. The base is the bottom. That's okay, David.
So
I think it's interesting. Different people think different ways.
Well, I'm just trying to think. Right. In the scenario where you've got what basically the lowest common denominator, and in multi-DLL, the one thing you have got kind of static is the data DLL.
Right.
So the only other option.
I hope David realizes I was teasing him there.
Of course. Should we open the mic, and he might actually think of another thing. David.
Yeah, open up.
David, you got and anybody else wants to obviously just raise your hands and we'll open the mics up. David, your mic's open. From what we've just said, does that make sense, or do you want to put another spin on it?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, my reasoning was just what you just said, pretty much. It's just because the base has to be there before, I can create the main, but in a multi-DLL, I really have to have the base there first. And so to me, that's the top, without any tables, the whole rest of it doesn't go, so, I mean, that's just my, and I didn't realize you were kidding, John, so. I never, because I know people seem to think the EXE, and normally it would be, but in a multi-DLL, since you have to have the module, and that module has to exist, the base guide, before you can really do much with the main, then that's just the,
I suppose there's other ways of
looking
at it. I mean, I think of it like that as well. But yeah, if you think from the loading point of view, if you ever tried rebasing, then the EXE is the true master, and that takes charge of the rest of it, and so on and so forth. So it's just different ways of thinking of it. The next question then would be setting it one. I suppose just one per product, like you say, John. So you add.
That's the main thing, right? We just want one place to set it. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I was just wondering, is there any merit in adding, say, a support class, a support template, so you can add that to your data and have each one of the locals read that version. So basically, all of a sudden, you set it on that, and that would affect all of the products, property grid, command bar, so on and so forth. But then, I suppose
one master guide, you mean?
Yeah, but that does take away the thing of you might want different ones to have different themes, and I do actually use that myself. I always try and stick with one common theme usually Office 2010 DLL, to be fair, but the task panel, the users do like it, and I forget which one it is. It's one of the built-in ones, so that breaks that rule. So just thinking aloud, people probably might want, not from a version point of view. I think if you're using CodeJock 17.3, you're going to use 17.3 across the lot. If you're using 16, you're going to use 16 across all of them.
Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of doing that now. So, like, because of the little docking pane task panel issues when I try to upgrade them, I'm having to kind of do a cross. So I'm running 17.3 plus 16.4.
Right.
For a couple of them.
Okay, so that kind of answers that. So, okay, well, let's go with this then. Let's go with...
Normally I wouldn't, but if you do have a situation where, you want to upgrade them, but you haven't got all the bugs worked out of one particular product, then that's kind of where you end up with.
Okay, so
that scenario.
I mean, it's best, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. So we'd have to go into our data and set these properties once, but only once, and then going forward, we'd be fine.
Right.
Okay.
Just to throw this out there, and maybe it makes it too complex, but maybe it doesn't. But in each of so you could have your common DLL or your common template, right? Your extension template.
Yeah.
And it has all the things that are shared amongst every other template, which would be the CodeJock version and the theme. And I don't know if there's anything else that's
language.
Licensing would be different for each one, right?
Licensing is different per product.
Right. What else do they share? Is it mainly just the version of the CodeJock stuff and the themes?
Theme, language, and version.
Template version, and yeah.
Yeah, so those three would be quite common across a lot. Okay. But you still want to put the license at one root level and export it out, because it's pointless going into each one of the procedures and having to put the license in. But it would be per individual product but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that on the individual templates, then you would have a checkbox that would say like use extension template for settings, and if you turned it on, then it would use your common one.
Yep.
All the settings there. And if you turned it off, then it would localize it and you would use the template settings individually. So if I've got, there's like, how many of these things? 8? 7? 8?
Of the CodeJocks?
Yeah.
13.
6, 7, 8.
No,
13?
No,
okay.
12, yeah.
Yeah, I'm using probably, most of them. Maybe 6 or 7. Yeah. Anyway, so if I decide to upgrade all my CodeJock stuff, I go to one place, I change it to the newest version, and then I'm done, because everything else, I'm keeping everything the same, right? But but if someone else, same thing, they would change it one place, but maybe they've got one, like you said, a different control that they're keeping on a different version, then it would stay on that version. It wouldn't change because you've got the switch off.
Yeah, you just have the backwards. So from have I got anything open? No, but let's just open.
The ultimate convenience for me would be this extension thing, I think, and maybe for other people too, because then you could change your theme. It changes it everywhere, and you can see what it looks like in everything, right? That would be kind of neat.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Let me just open up on here.
Putting it in the DLL, then you just keep your same scheme that you're doing now, where you're setting the C string to the value, right? And then everything. Not as many changes as I made, actually.
Yeah, I'd probably just follow suit with that.
Yeah,
I think we could do that. We'll call it it'd be a Noyantis CJ lib, because this is just for the CodeJock stuff, of course. Yeah, we could do that. CJ resource, something like that. I'll come up with that in a minute. But basically, really wants an extra setting here, right at the start, to say basically where the declarations are, local to this app or from the central resource store.
Yeah.
That gives us our backwards compatibility. So anybody open get an update will have it obviously working the old way by default, and the new way going forward. That could turn all this off, turn that off, turn everything off really. That content, that.
Don't show, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, we'll do that in a second.
Let's add those buttons in there. Put that security button in there.
Actually, if I put a new tab on, all of these could actually be hidden. Ah, maybe not the license. No, we'll do that on the finger. Okay. Shall we try something like that? Forget the license. We'll come back to the license one, and let's just do a new, I suppose, a new template, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Prior to that, then, I need a multi-DLL test harness, so we can try it, get it working. I think I've got one somewhere. Just looking. Sorry about this, everyone. Just trying to actually find the. Oh, that would do. Okay, so going back one. Coming live multi-DLL. We have a data. We'll just open that. I don't think there's anything on there. There's a suppress for ImageEX. It doesn't like it if you have a multi-DLL, but this is something separate. Okay, so we can see that compiles. I have a very simple one called procs, which is just some standard procedures. Oh. Let me reopen that. No extensions. And last but not least, we want the main menu. Okay. Didn't copy much then. Okay, so we try and run the menu now. And here we have, okay, so we have an empty skeleton set up for us to try on. Doing this live, it's going to be different. Just trying to think of the best base to start it from. Might pinch some of this actually to start with. In the absence of any other questions, everyone's happy with us proceeding on with this, yeah?
Works for me.
Yep. Okie dokie, so Kojak resource. Oh. So basically, it's going to make a bit of a boring recording for people, but it's still progress. People can see how it's been done. So we'll call it CJ Resources. Or CJ Resource.
Programming is always exciting, Andy.
Now, number-wise, can't be 0. It's actually going to be, what have I got? Number-wise, NYS. I think we've got 013. I think that's flow graph. Yes, thought it was. Okay, there's no 14. But there's a 15. It's going to be number 14. Okay. Anyone, obviously, get any questions as we're going through, shout up. That's not a problem. It's going to be just a global. That can just go. So this is our standard stuff. Oh, actually, rather than me just, I might as well tell you what we're doing. That's the overall template declaration. Yeah, saying what the version is. This is the global extension. So, which you can see by the name. And it requires that to be present. So that's why you basically you only get to see things if you've added the global and so on and so forth. So that's that. That just calculates whether it's ABC or legacy and primes up a NYS family variable for me, should I require it. That's a box at the top with a standard. An insert is the equivalent of basically
Group.
Yeah, some sort of grouped source code, which you can just do an include of. So that's the equivalent of an include in standard language. But sheet, we've got this particular version, the tab. So we would want the version and let you specify the hotfix, all the things that we've got previously. We'd want the theme, just as you've got previously. You want the image resource, that would be better at one single level. like that's it. Actually, its intended use. So that definitely would be better there. And language resource. Window manager means absolutely nothing to this product. The register, did we say we were going to control that? Yep, of course we did. Yep. So that will be at the overall level. I think the license we're going to have to come back to.
Yeah.
We would want to change the other product to be, for each one of the products to have this multi-DLL setting, as John was saying before. But I think we're going to have to come back to that. The debug can go in. Performance can go in. They're just the standard stuff. Okay, so if it's data external, I didn't see where that was being asked actually. Did we get rid of it on one of them a second ago? Yeah. Oh no. Sorry, just jumping about. No, we declare. It's those two which I was thinking of then. We haven't got those. On this, you would only ever set it to the multi-DLL. Is that correct? You'd only ever add this to the data DLL. Anyone see anything wrong with that?
No.
Actually. No, actually, thinking about it, what happens if it's just a single exe application, but you've got numerous products and you want to control it from this? Yeah, of course. Yeah, you still want that type of that setting in there. Resource language. I think, okay, some of this would work for us now. But instead, we'd have all of these defined. Oh, yes, that's right. I'm not sure it's going to like that, actually.
What does that do?
Well, basically, I don't think it's going to particularly like. I can set a variable in the template, it's a template variable, and you can see here that it's going to generate that, and then it's going to put the content of that variable after it. Now that variable could be empty, or it could be set to something, e.g., comma, so on and so forth. So what I think I'll have to do here is put an else on there and set it to, and put the thread in there as well. So would be threaded, and all that would be is literally just thread. like so, and then I could just replace it straight away there. Oh, that's how. Oh, we don't need that.
Does that need to be threaded? Is that right?
No, I suppose they don't.
I mean, it's a global value, right? I think it's
straightforward.
Not threaded.
Yeah. Why have we done that in the past, though? Why have we made sure that they're threaded in the past? But
it seems when you started to thread, it would would it keep its value? I guess it would.
Well, it's that, so it's going to initialize straight to that.
Yeah, I guess either way.
You are correct. It's probably. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go with that. But yes, thinking about it, it's probably not needed. We don't need that one. But we do need the others in the export list. In fact, didn't you have a pinch thumb of John's here? Crikey. You'd introduce the performance one, hadn't you? At that level. What did you have? Let me just go back.
I did, yeah, because it seemed like a globally thing.
License hotfix OCX, license hotfix OCX, TPL, and then you've got the theme. Yeah. Okay. Is there any other particular things then we on the debug can we think of? Oh, not debug, sorry, performance.
I think there were two things on. Aren't there two things there?
Switch, find replace tokens, and the mouse events. Yeah, so really all three. If we're doing it, should go across. They're not called them, are they? The performance ones come off zeros. That's why you've got it there. Right, okay. This is still in the program. That's where we are at the moment. Global data. Global data. Those are defined. Minor equates. Export. Yeah, okay. Sorry about this. Just, we are missing a particular thing here there, aren't we? We are going to need those defined at 14. Okay. Anyone see anything else wrong with what we've got so far?
Looks pretty exciting to me.
Fine. Set. Just thinking about the actual importance of that. I don't know if the multi-DL should go right at the start of it. Get lost down the bottom there.
Yeah, I'd put it. Actually, no, yeah, on Cape Sauce, it's like the second tab in or something. It might go on its own separate tab, actually.
Yeah. Nope. Okay. So far, so good. Register. Well, we can add that just to take a look at it. Happy with that. What do we call it? NYS. Yeah, NYS CJ. Code resource. So in theory, we should be able to go to this, say, I think we're going to have to call it code drop rather than CJ. But yeah, CJ resource. We've missed some stuff off here. Oh, we've definitely missed some stuff off.
Oh.
I've not done the includes at the bottom. It's never going to find any of our standard stuff. I was a bit trigger happy on the old includes. So let's bring some of that into place. Obviously, we don't need those. History, we'll just pinch one of the other histories for now. I'll stick with the docking pane because it's what we've used, so it's as good as any. 7th of July. Crikey. Maybe I should have shown the smaller one. Okay. Sorry about that. Is everyone still awake?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Still here.
Okay. Resource. How about CJ resource? Yep, let's unregister that and add the new one. Can't see if we're looking. MISC. Could not always up. I mean, that might have been for when I was actually opening it originally, but
Old warning.
yeah. But let's just check it anyway. I'd sooner not have anything there. Yep.
No, it's still there.
Ah, no, I pressed cancel. So that was purposely me.
Oh.
So I will get rid of that. Another. Sure, there was a clear somewhere, but never mind. CJ accessory template. CJ resource. Okay. One down. Let's try again. Onto the dictionary. Add CJ resource. No errors. We're missing something up the top. Hence why everything's jumped around. So let's just see what we've missed there. Ah, I know what that'll be. What are we?
Where's?
Yeah, what's that? I'll do the tidy up on this afterwards. Should really have a skeleton one of these somewhere. There'll be no GIF, obviously, but it will give us an idea. We have all of those. Yeah, it was just... Oops. We don't have to re-register the template. That's good. Got to come up with an image, but that'll give us what we're after. Okay, so we can say that, say our particular, all our contents and so on and so forth. We don't want that over at where that is. So that at 10. And prime that up to version 1. Okay, that basically gives us the template. Say that's 1640. Fine. So what's our next step, are we thinking? Crikey, I thought of one thing. We can't say theme at that level because it's different per product.
I was wondering about that too. It seemed like some of them had more prompts for themes.
Yeah.
How different is it? I mean,
all the modern ones have these. The Office 2007 to 2013. So I can leave them in. There's certain ones I could leave in which are common against all the products, but only certain ones.
Okay.
Might be more prudent to have that still at the, because we're still going to do this multi-DLL idea, which from the license point of view, so you can only just do it in the data, make it much easier for you. Yeah. I think for what it's worth, we'd have to take that off. Bit of a shame, but I think it'd have to go off. It'd have to be set per product. Is there any other way we could do it? Tell you what we'll do. We'll go with just the common ones in there. So the common themes that I know we've got are default. All of them have that specific. That is 18 now. Won't be a second. Let me open up one of the files. in our equates, we've got all the ones, so we can see like Office 2010. Now, yeah, yeah, it's 2005. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. The themes won't go. It's a bit of a shame. But they can still go at the multi-DLC. You just set them once.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, they've got different equates, so you can see there 2010 it happens to be 2005 there. It's 2010 on that one. It's 2004 on that one. So yeah, there's no common. Just wondering whether we could do the external. Just call this external themes and have theme location, because that would be quite common. Okay, let's bin that off. Let's go back into ours and let's have a look. Okay, a little more empty. This is part of a DLL and it's declared in this app. What was that? .inc. The two theme ones can go now as well. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. And we don't need any of this. Wow, okay. After all that, that would give us a starting point. So now I think we'll choose one of the products. Report control, I think we were going to toy with, was it not?
Yeah.
So let's just open up. So let's clear out some deadwood from here. And those, even though we will need that again in a second. So we'll have report control open. And should imagine we'll need lib open as well. One of our tabs, not templates there, we've got our license. Oh, there's debug, there's performance. They seem to be in the opposite order that I would have expected them then. Okay. What we're calling this, centralized resource, something like that. Resource settings.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And it literally just wants to be up into the multi, which we had a minute ago. That drop down. Use I'm trying to think what to call it. Got to be a smallish prompt. Resource declarations. Declared declared on CJ it's in really. Would you know what I mean by that? If they declared in code drop resource TPL, declared in this TPL. That makes sense?
Let's see.
Yep. That makes sense.
They would want to be the opposite way though. I will actually. Backwards compatible. So the default is declared in this GPL. And then
So if I'd say template instead of TPL, just because everybody knows what a template is, but does everybody know what a TPL is?
Oh yeah,
they should. I mean, I guess they should. Maybe I'm being picky.
I'm just trying to think. This template.
I just say declared here and declared there.
I can't say there. They wonder what the hell. So we need that. Oh, before that we need that. So we go the very first thing before any of this. Would be that, and this now becomes dependent. So the general, that theme, that's going to bug us. Okay, that's not a problem. People are going to see this and say, what the hell's happened to the templates? So general and general. So basically all the theme settings can be taken out of here completely. That's there all the time. But that only wants a theme on there, obviously. And just thinking there, let's just say 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Let's take off, give or take, fine tune that afterwards. Let's say about 136. Register will go under condition now. At 2x, oh no, license will stay. On that one, defaults will stay. Debug won't. Performance, debug won't. Performance won't. I think that's really it. Let's try that. So we're happy with that, and we'll just try the procs, and we'll add the report control just for this for now. We're going to do the multi-DLL bit as well, of course, but just one step at a time. Plus, looking at time for today, report control. Okay, something's wrong with the size. Yep, something's definitely wrong with the size. Now I take that off. Might change that into a radio. We've got enough room. Might change that into a thingy.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Then you can see the options, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, why has our theme gone crazy? It's gone way off. And them two have gone crazy as well. How about this? I'm just making sure things. No, do line up to mean 10. Right, okay. I was to do. Everything still works. External. Yep, happy with that. Register. Oh. Planning template language done half. Play up sometimes. Right, okay. The hotfix. I'll try that. I'm not sure what the particular thing is. And That was a theme. Still looks like it's a tiny bit down, but believe it or not, I'm here and I've got my finger on the actual the screen, making sure that the two things line up. Little things like that, but I do like them to be right. No, okay, but that's right now. So they start. I'll just move those two down. We'll correct the others. We'll take stock and see where we're up to. And on the register, okay, it's 1:30. I took off there. You know, from a recorded webinar, this will be probably a little poor, but at least people get an idea of what goes on doing the templates.
I'm gonna watch it again. This is great.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Just need to pull these up. Okay. 30, 30, 30. It's after them two actually. So it's just this register. And there should be a check. I'm just looking where the other setting is. One, there, okay. The reason I keep opening and closing the app is for a template change. If you've done a class change, you can just compile and you'll be fine, it'll recognise it. If it's a template change, you have to open and close. Sorry, close and reopen. Okay, that looks better. That looks better. Okay, that isn't.
Yeah.
So, 100 off that.
I thought it would changed all those other ones. It's weird.
They weren't relative to the last to the last prompt, if you will, in template language. They all were relative to the last. But in the box sections, you have to be specific. So it's not. Yeah, it's not quite true. So that, yep, happy with that. Happy with that. I just want to, and that should have its gap in between for you to be able to put those in. And if I say that, that should let you specify there. So that works. I think I still like that to be a little smaller, but brought up a little, to be fair. And I'll have all these changes to do on all of the products. So I look forward to doing that. Okay, that's quite presentable with that, and that, and that, and that.
Let's put the license information on a button while we're here.
Yes. I'm going to have to watch this back just to remind myself what I've got to do to the rest of the products. Okay, so that's that. License information. My mental block, yeah.
Make a button.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick it out of, pinch it out of the command bar. The command bar has this, has that in. Export. Yeah, button. Just chuck it on the actual button.
There you go.
Include. Oh, that's just a standard thing. So let's. And we just want to also do the end box. Have I missed something? Have I?
What?
I must have done. Bit trigger happy. Oh. Yep. Mind you. Questioning whether that needs to be boxed actually. Oh. That's better.
See, now you can't accidentally show it. You gotta push the button.
Does make sense.
That's cool.
Of course, it don't want to be export. It just wants to be
Oh yes, my main one.
enter license information.
Did you get that edited yet? That one video.
Oh no. I had a server install last week, which took up far more time than I anticipated, to be honest. Kind of sidelined me a little. There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's just really that. So just won't be a second. So that wants to be something along the lines of, that was in here, was it not? Resource declarations. two of those. Declared in this template. Don't really use the radials now, to be honest. And that wants, I was going to say, I can tell actually, because that wants to be in there, of course. Never going to work otherwise. What am I missing? No, know how to give the. I'll be honest. I don't really use the radials too often, given their default value.
I don't know.
Oh, I think it's
Probably.
I think it's just
Yeah, you can.
just a value, isn't it?
0.
Just trying to see myself here. Take a quick look on the other monitor.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just value. Looks like it.
that's right. I see it, yeah.
Oops.
Yep. Yep, that looks right.
The only thing I saw there was the boxing around it looked awful. So I'm just trying to see what the options are for that. Oh, I didn't think that'd be. Okay. And there is no default value going in there. which I don't quite get.
There's a way to do that.
I've got default in there of 0. With the absence of what's that choice. Choice, specify symbol, position number. Ah, right, okay. No, don't need that. I'm giving it the value itself, so that might have been the thing. Is there any way of telling it to put a nice box around it or something? It looks awful.
Yeah, there's something odd going on there. I mean, you could box it.
Yeah. Didn't look too clever, but yes, I suppose that's ultimately what I end up doing.
Yeah, I don't think it does it for you, so I think you have to.
Well, I don't know if you can see on mine, but let me just compile it. And it's actually put in a box there, but it's far too small. I might actually have to put the actual dimensions on there. Yeah, so you can see here it's put declarations with the box on there.
That's working. Yeah, that's interesting.
Am I allowed to say it's boxed?
Where?
Do you know what? I'll do something like that. Let's see.
What have you got? You got resource declarations. You got a 90, 95, and isn't that 10? Is that the height there? Can you just change the height?
Ah, do you know what? Oh, crikey. Duh. I didn't even take any notice of that. Yeah, okay. Just ignore that, everybody. Yeah. Don't know how wide it is. It's usually, I think, around 170 off the top of my head. Let's go with that. I can't took no notice of that whatsoever. I wondered why I was getting it dead small.
I was wondering why it was moved over so far. Now I know.
Okay, yeah, so give it a take. Yeah. And maybe just a little display inside of there, if we can do that. Worth going the extra mile to make sure that they look good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like an option in there.
Nope.
Okay. Fine. It's not worth the thing. That's fine. We'll go with that. Probably get away with that. So we'll do a quick restock of where we're up to on this. Oh, crikey, it's 10 to right. So we've got our declaration. I will tidy that up. I'll be honest, it would bug me otherwise. So I'll tidy that up. So we'll be able to declare in here. That's all backwards compatible, so that should still work. Got our license on there. got our defaults, which is just to do with the one particular product, and well, yeah, that should technically work. And if we were to on this procedure, just put a standard report control on this window. And go. Okay. And I'm kind of hoping that still works. We'll just run the menu. And there's our report control. All initialized still locally, of course.
Right.
Now, what we want to do, and just on there, and this method in my madness, is we're just going to put a button to say version. Oh, maybe about. So, and the idea behind that is I'm going to be declared one version locally and one version on our global, and switch, get it to switch between the two. About 1730. That must be because in here we've told it to use 1730. Purely by chance, I'll be honest with you, but yeah. So, am I right in thinking what we would do on this is have to add CJ resources, but on this we say it's declared another app, which means actually you wouldn't be prompting for any of these things. It's just nothing more than a placeholder. Correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, we should make that work that way then. We'll start wrapping it up shortly because we'll be approaching the 2-hour mark. But quickly, our CJ resource, there it is. We're going to prompt for that first. But all these would want to be dependent on that. So no point in prompting for that. All the register. Oh no. We can't put that where on there. Oh, crikey, that's a shame. Do you see the problem we've got? We've got the same tab is being used both at the local level and on on the normal extension, if you will, and on our new thing. That's a shame. Okay, well, they're just going to have to go off for now, and we'll have to come back to them. We'll have to come up with a different way of doing that. Ah, no, of course. We can take a parameter to something like that. So we can pass it in that one, we can pass that in, which should control it. And on here, nope, in there, nope, wrong one. David, yep, your mic's open if you've got a quick question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a quick question. I was mentioned that I was upgrading some of the templates and the controls.
Yeah.
And the property grid, I've done all of them except for the docking pane and the task panel. But the property grid one, if I go in and tell the templates to use the 17.3 version, then they don't, nothing shows up in the app. If I switch it back to the 16.4, it still works. And I'm wondering what I checked like the manifest file, and it looks like it's got 17.3.
Okay, well, just quickly have to divert off, but let's just take a quick look.
Just wonder if there's something I should look at, or maybe something I need to clear, or
just webinar. Oh, that one. Quick look at property grid. We'll set it to put a license in, so we'll have to just take it off the screen temporarily.
This is with the legacy app too.
This now, will this compile because of the changes I'm just doing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that should work. I think it's in its default mode of 16 odd. Okay. I'll quickly put some license code in. Is it reg-free com? Oh yes,
yes.
Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah, reg-free, and the license is compiled into the app. And my license code's the same between the 16.4 and the 17.3. It's the same.
Yeah.
Code, but I copied it anyway just to.
Okay, well, we'll go 16. Is it what particular version? No, that way.
Well, 16.4 works, and if I go to 17.3, then it doesn't show up anymore.
Fine, no problem.
And I have the both files in my project, in the directory.
Ah,
so the 16.3 and the 13 whatever, are both in the same of the OCX and the license.
Okay. So we'll just
Maybe that's my problem. I don't know.
No, it should be fine. So if I run, I wouldn't expect that to run, or I wouldn't expect it to give me anything because I haven't the ActiveX in there.
That's what I'm seeing.
So
it looks like it's just not registered, and I think, well, it's right there in the directory. And so is the 16.4. So they both are, and they're both license files are there.
You wouldn't need the license files there.
Okay.
But let's have a quick look. Property grid. Okay, so both OCXs are there. So now I'd expect that to, work. That's reg3com with the license and the 16.4. So just change that to 17.3.
Oh, that's good to see yours works. That's good. That's promising. Yeah.
So. Standard things to check then. I won't go to the license, obviously, but actually, just give me 1 second. Let me move that off. No, I'll just take part of mine out. So, you can. So, things to check. Use the specify version, 17.3. Make sure you got your compiled in and make sure that this reads as it should. So, property grade 98 to 2016. And that reads 17.3 there, and your license is, letter for letter correct.
Right. Now I have it in multiple DLLs. Should those settings be the same in?
Yes.
In all three? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And global actions and then manifest. Just check that. Mind you, I've got mine linked in and it has just worked. Sometimes that will stop it from regenerating the manifest. So the manifest can be pointing to it could be out of date. I doubt that.
Okay.
To be fair.
Let me check mine real quick. Let's see. So that would be the. Where's that guy? Oh, there he is. Manifest. Yeah, I've got all three of those on the top checked. But I've got generate manifest, link generate manifest into project, and configure manifest. So I just need the generate manifest.
I'd just try it with just the generate, just to start with, and make sure that it generates, regenerates it correctly.
Okay, and then all the check marks on the bottom there. Okay, so. Okay, I'll compile this guy again and run him. He's kind of big. He takes just a minute.
Yeah, yes, no problem.
takes a couple minutes.
No problem. I'll just switch back to the other because we'll start rounding up on the other.
Okay, sorry.
That still don't like the show tab.
Yeah, I came back with the same thing. It looks like.
So it's still not.
Just,
It's still not
yeah,
working.
just not registered. It looks like.
Can we quickly see your screen? Just have a quick look.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
See that one? Like if I try to go into here, there should be a property grid there.
Right. Okie dokie.
So
So
if I switch it back to 16.4, then it works again. Yeah.
right. Can we have a quick look at the manifest, please? Well, both manifests actually.
So we got, this is the property grid guy.
Yep. 1730. Yep. I'll tell you what, let me check that against my manifest.
Okay.
Because they should be one of the same then. Okay, so going on to yours, I'm looking against mine. 1730. First one starts 5B44. Yeah. Last one's 87. Yeah, that looks good.
Same. Okay.
And the actual application manifesto, if you can.
Let's see, this guy's got
Yeah, property grid.
property grid. There he is.
1730. Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
Okay. And in that folder, you've got the actual property grid 17. You got a task panel in there of an old one as well.
Yeah, docking pane and task panel are the two that are, oops, yeah, that are left. Yeah, the old versions.
Okay. But you've got the property grid OCX and so on in there. I don't know. It sets to use reg free
That's a good one.
It sets to use reg free com.
Yes. Yeah, I can check the. So we've got 17.3.
Yeah, watch the license.
Oh yeah, okay. But reg free and then ActiveX file location, and then my other guys to use reg free and the license.
Okay. And what we're saying is, if you go back a tab, and on there, if you just simply switch that to 16, it works.
Yeah, if I go to 16.4, yeah, back to this guy. I have to change a couple of them here. Like this is the one that's using. This is a multi-DLL.
Right.
So I've got to switch them. There's like 3 of them here. That these are a little smaller. And while that guy's running, I think I could do that. No, maybe not. And then we've got this guy. Well, you might want to go back to your other guy because this other one's going to take a couple minutes again. So.
Oh, okay.
But just FYI, I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to switch this other guy back to 16.4.
Okay.
This guy. Okay, I already did that one, so I just need to compile him and run it.
I've got a problem on this, which I'm quite sure why my where clause isn't working. So it's something for me to take a look at on this.
Okay.
Just while waiting for the result of that, I'll just do a tiny bit on this.
Okay.
Yeah, you got your.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to put an example together which uses all. It shouldn't make any difference, but uses all the products like you've got there. Quickly add the others and so on and so forth. Off the top of my head, I'm stumped. You should just be able to switch it. It's not running. It's not running an old copy of the manifest from somewhere. Is it Windows Virtual Store? It's not finding the manifest in there, is it? Or anything like that?
I don't think so, but that's a good question. I can do a search for it here and see. Like look for the manifest, the control manifest, or the app manifest.
The app manifest.
App manifest. Okay. So let's say this guy. Oh, there's some temp ones, but that's mine.
I just wonder whether Windows Virtual Store has caught me a couple of times on some settings.
No, it doesn't look like it. This is the one that's in the app itself. In the app directory. These are all just backups.
Right. Okay.
And then this is in my, but that's another copy that's meant to run like local. I could get rid of that, I guess.
Yeah, just
Doesn't have to be there. see. Local users, administrator, and that would be this guy.
Ah, mind you, it's not really.
And even this guy can go.
Yeah, no, I was thinking more of the virtual store, like I say,
Oh, okay.
looked in there first. So,
No, I thought, I mean, I don't know if this is a clue, but when I upgraded all of them, and did all the templates and all the Kojak stuff all at once, I didn't think I had a problem with the property grid. It looked like it was working. It was the task panel and the docking panes that I had issue with.
right.
And so it looked like it, if I don't know, this is just a guess, but it looked like if I installed those other two, completed the installation of all of them, then these would work. But it did at one time, but then I had a problem. I had to roll back. And so now I'm back to, kind of in this split mode.
Right.
But when I went completely and upgraded everything, I believe the property grids were working then. I don't remember seeing an issue with those. It was just, like I said, just the task panel. I had a couple things going on, and then the docking panes.
Well, not that it'll make any difference, but can you try re-downloading the installer for the property grid and reapply it and switch to 17.3 that way? But make sure you do the re-download first so that it knows that it's definitely got the latest version.
Yeah, okay.
Failing that, give us a shout on Friday and we'll connect up and I'll take a quick look on Friday with you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, at least, I can always go back to this one, so it's not urgent, but that'd be great.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Narrow it down and find out. And then I'll try to find out what the issue was. I think it's just with the docking pane. I don't think it's really with the task panel, but I didn't want to risk it, so.
Well, you download
until I have time to fix it.
The last installer, and it should be dated. I'll tell you now.
Yeah, I got that this morning. I think I'm on the current versions of everything.
And it was re-downloaded.
Yes. Yeah, I downloaded everything you mentioned.
Then you'll be fine.
To go get all the copies at the same time, and I did. And I got, let me see. So my property grids, 3.58.
Yeah, like I say there to this morning. Wow. Don't know what to suggest. There'd be no reason then if you applied that this morning, you've already done the step I was going to suggest, or I did suggest.
I might try redoing it just because I did install a bunch after that. I just went in the order, so I went calendar. I guess I would have installed.
Shouldn't make a difference, but just be on the safe side. Redo that for
report, and shortcut, and skin. All the rest of them there.
Yeah. Just
I'll give it a shot.
Try that one, and see how you fare with that. But then no problem if you still have problems. We'll just connect up and do it on Friday. Do it together.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Andy.
No problems. Going back to where we're up to on this, I'll just switch back to myself, but we're going to have to start wrapping it up, unfortunately. I've got a particular issue where I just need to be able to pass a parameter in of whether we show the debug or not. But to recap what we've actually covered and where we're up to today on this is we've introduced a new template, which will be the CJ resource template. And the idea is that you add it to your main central data DLL. You can forget the issue down at the bottom, but you'll be able to say whether it is part of a multi-DLL or not. If it's not, you'll see things disappear at the top. you'll be able to put your details into this and then compile it. Then in your procedures app, and obviously your main app frame and so on and so forth, you'll also have basically be able to add it to there. Say it's declared in another, it won't prompt you for any other information. It's really just a placeholder, if you will. And then from there, on your normal new products, and I've just bumped the version up. These are all going to go out as version 4 when this technology works. All the templates will be updated to version 4. The reason I've done that is I know when all the templates went to version, I think it was 3.5, it was when the reg-free COM was introduced. So everything which was 3.5 onwards was reg-free COM compatible. So if I bump these up to version 4, then I know that if anyone's on that particular version, then they can use this type of approach. So that's why we're going down that route. So all these will go out as 4, and we'll be able to say, right, we'll use a resource that'll turn off all the redundant tabs, if you will, and the idea is that it will start taking the settings off the resource. But
That should be very helpful.
We will be continuing next week.
Excellent.
So, well, finally we started it though, John. It's a start.
I know. So if we declare it in this template, then this template would not be a multi-DLL aware thing. Is that right?
That's right. The default of this for backwards compatibility will be declared in this template, and then you are straight back to normal. So let's
straight back the way it was. So you'd have to manage that all the way through your apps and everything.
Except at the moment there's a problem on this show, and so I've got to try and fix that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the idea. Our license has now been wrapped off. That's good.
Yeah, we might want to, in the resource, I don't know. I'm just thinking that if my only thing was I wanted to keep one of the Kojak versions back, then I've got to manage that in all my DLLs again. I wonder if we can just manage the versions in the resource. But then you're going to have a lot of drop downs, right?
Yeah, we mean we'd have to export them, but that's not a problem. The license will still be fine. Whether you're registering would be fine. It's just the version number, but you'd be able to put them into the central resource.
Okay, for each of the products.
Yeah, could do. Why not?
That'd be cool. Okay, that solves the problem.
Yeah. Once we've got this working, before we pan it out, definitely suggest before we standardize it and put it into the rest of the suite and release version 4 of the whole suite, we'll put it through our paces and make sure we've got a good user base to take a look, and maybe put something on the news group to say Mondays we're doing a review of how this works, make sure people are happy, and then we'll flush it out to the rest of the products.
Excellent. I like it.
So okay, right. Well, I really am going to go now, but thanks for attending. Hope it's not been too boring.
No.
We're not really. Well, we have covered stuff. We've been enhancing, so that's the whole point. So that's what we're here for. So by next week, I will have the show tab working, because I'll do that tomorrow, because obviously can't keep it in that state. So something's wrong with it. So I'll have that working tomorrow, and then next week we can hit the ground running after questions, of course, with this.
Excellent. Cool.
Okay.
I like it. Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Lenny.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.